I'd like to encourage everyone to open their Bibles to John chapter 4. We're going to look tonight at verses 27 through 29. John chapter 4, verse 27 on through verse 29. And you'll remember that this is the chapter that tells us about Jesus and the Samaritan woman at the well. And following their conversation with one another, we find that the apostles returned, having brought food for Jesus and for them to eat. And that's when the woman leaves. And here's what we read about what happens. Verse 27 says, "And upon this came his disciples, and marveled that he talked with the woman. Yet no man said, What seekest thou? Or why talkest thou with her? The woman then left her water pot, and went her way into the city, and said to the men, Come, see a man which told me all things that ever I did. Is not this the Christ?" I know there are many lessons that we learn in John chapter 4, but I want us to think about one little phrase there in verse 28. Maybe you've never thought about this before. I don't know. But at the beginning of that verse, we're simply told the woman then left her water pot. You remember why she came to the well, don't you? She came to get water. And now she's leaving and she forgets her water pot. Why did that happen? Why was the mission that she was on now set aside or forgotten about? Well, I know you're smart people and you can figure it out. Because there was something more important on her mind now. She wasn't concerned about drinking water. She was concerned about the water of life. She was concerned about her soul. And so those physical things took a back seat. And so the Bible tells us that she left her water pot. And she went back to the city to tell them about who she had met. I don't know what your mindset was when you came here tonight. But if you are not a Christian, I want to encourage you to leave behind the water pot. Whatever it is that might be upon your mind or was upon your mind when you came. And I want you to think about something that's so much more important. And that is your soul. And tonight, if you're not yet a Christian, we want to encourage you to take that step. To put on Christ in baptism for the forgiveness of your sins. So that tonight you can pillow your head knowing my sins have been washed away. Knowing I'm on my way to heaven. Folks, it is the greatest need that we have. It should take precedence over every other thing. That's why this woman left her water pot. Let's leave everything else behind. And if you need to take care of this matter, let's do that now. And so if you need to obey the gospel, we want to encourage you to take that step. If you obey, but you've fallen away and you need to come back, now's the time to make that determination. We'll pray with you and for you. Let's leave behind whatever water pot we brought. And let's make sure that we take care of the most important thing in this life. Preparation for eternity. If you need to respond, come now as together we stand and sing.